I don't think you knew how many PCs that Intel and Newegg were going to donate.
No, I
Look
didn't.
behind you.
Awesome.
To celebrate Intel Gamer Days, Intel has paired up with Newegg to donate 4 high-power gaming machines to a very noble cause. And now we're here in beautiful San Diego, right outside Comic-Con, to show you how AbleGamers uses these PCs to spread their message and to change lives. But before we dive into all that, let's head back to the Newegg workshop where Robitech is sitting with a representative from AbleGamers. They're going to tell you all about what's in these cool PCs and how AbleGamers makes a difference.
Hey, Ben, thanks so much for inviting us here and letting us do this amazing build for AbleGamers. This is incredibly awesome. Now, for those people who may not know who you are you, Jordan, and what are we doing here today?
Yeah, I'm Jordan Coe. I'm the executive director at AbleGamers, and we are super excited to be here to help build this PC and to build awareness around the fact that anybody can play games. And so we've got players on our team, our adaptive gaming specialists, that'll come in and talk to you about your disability. What's your problem? What is your challenge? What is it that you want to play? How does that work? And then we give you a solution. And we say, well, maybe you should try these buttons. Like this button configuration will work for you. Or try this controller. And that might not work. And then we come back to you and say, okay, try this controller and try these options. And so having a PC like this that allows us to flex in and out of different controllers and in and out of different options, cool. Super helpful.
When somebody comes in, because I worked on the Xbox adaptive controller, so we got to actually have some really rad stuff with Gabby and those team. And I think sometimes people don't understand that getting into gaming and having a disability can be sometimes overwhelming, but there's a lot of solutions. So is this an opportunity for them to jump on the ship and learn a little bit about how they can overcome and get to be part of this amazing hobby?
Yeah, totally. So people can come down and we'll play in what we call our adaptive arcade. What that means is we're gonna have games set up, but you're not gonna be able to use a regular controller. You're not gonna come in and pick up a regular standard controller or a mouse and a keyboard and say, oh, I get this, right?
Right.
It's gonna look weird at first, but you're gonna figure out that all those things correspond to the same things that happen in controllers. And so as people start to learn and adjust to that, they get to see what it's like in the game. This PC in particular is gonna be on display and we're gonna be playing Brawlhalla. And so people will be able to use unique joysticks and unique games and be able to play all kinds of fun things.
In order to do that, we need to get this PC built.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so Jordan, we're not gonna build a slouch of a PC. In fact, we're building a really, really rad system for this. At the core of this is the Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. So this is Intel's latest CPU. It's a completely new architecture. What it does is because of the efficiency, they're able to turn off lots of different components. And the other thing that's really nice is it also has an NPU. And an NPU allows people to use AI and do AI-enabled tasks, which is one of the first CPUs to actually be able to do that, which is super cool. The other thing too is that because we're using a Z890 motherboard with Core Ultra 200S boost, basically people can now overclock these systems. But now with a one button, you basically get overclocking, it sets your RAM, and it makes it really, really accessible for you to get the most performance out of your system. Okay, so before we get started, how did you get into doing stuff with AbleGamer? Like, where did that whole thing kind of come from? And I'm gonna start grabbing parts and go from there.
Totally. Well, for me, it was really about 2 parts. One is about supporting people with disabilities. It is one of the most underrated and not talked about areas kind of within the nonprofit sector. And so a lot of people with disabilities struggle with challenges that people don't think about. The accessibility challenges look like price, they look like information, they look like support, and you might call a hotline and they might not know how to set up an accessible controller. They might not know how to support you. It might cost extra. So people need answers to all those things, and that iterates in, not just in gaming, but all kinds of different ways. And then I'm a gamer. Love games, love the culture. There's a lot of social community and connection that comes with gaming, with your friend group, with people that you don't know, being able to meet and play with others. And so that kind of that crossover for me, like really brought me in with AbleGamers.
So with AbleGamers, what is the mission specifically?
So everyone can play.
Okay.
We want to be able to give everybody the opportunity to be able to play whatever game that they want. And so that does look like a couple things, right? Like we've talked about with controllers. That's how do I play? How does that work? How do I get that set up? But it's more than that, because if you play a game that doesn't allow you to use an adaptive controller,
right,
or doesn't have these accessible options, then you're not going to be able to play in the first place.
What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to open this. This is our Core Ultra 9 285K. You're going to grab it from the sides and you're going to sit it just right in there like that. Yep, sits just like in. Yep, just like that. It only goes in one way. Now close that down. Okay, now what I want you to do is put your finger right here.
Okay.
And then pull that and put it back under.
So like this.
Yep. So that is all it is. That's all you had to do to install a CPU. Not too bad, right?
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Okay, now the next one, this is life-changing. The first time you seat RAM, we've had people faint. Oh, man.
I don't know. That seems like a lot.
But it's just like, did you feel that click? Right? Just give it a good push.
That felt good.
What kind of, like, if people want to interact, like, how do they get in touch with you guys and all that sort of stuff?
There are a couple ways. One, always find your way to our website. We
Okay.
have our contact information there. Please reach out to us. We have partners. We want to partner. We want to help everybody be able to play. But more importantly, as we are doing with this PC, we are trying to build awareness that everybody can game. And we want people to know that. And so we are going to the places where we know gamers love to be.
Okay.
And so that's places like Comic-Con, PAX East, PAX West, Evo, Combo Breaker. We are going to be in those locations partnering with Voodoo Ranger, promoting that accessibility and promoting that people have the opportunity to play.
What are some of your, I don't know, favorite stories that you guys have kind of had as you've started over 21 years ago?
Yeah, well, even this year, we were, this is the first year we went to Combo Breaker, which is a fighting game tournament in Chicago. And it was the first time we had been there, and we had set up our adaptive arcade, and we have Mortal Kombat going on the PlayStation, and this guy walks upstairs, and he's like, hey, can I play with you guys? And we're like, yeah, sure, come on over. And plugs in his controller, plugs in his headset to the controller, starts playing, and then chatting with us, and he's like, yeah, by the way, you know, I'm blind. And for most people that may not know this, blind is a spectrum, right? And so some people can be legally blind, but they can still see.
Okay.
In Carlos's case, he is fully blind.
Okay.
And so sits down and is playing Mortal Kombat, and I was like, oh, I can take this guy. I could not take this guy. Could not take this guy. It turns out that he actually worked with the devs on Mortal Kombat to help make sure that the game was accessible.
Right. How did AbleGamers actually get started?
Yeah, so AbleGamers got started because our founder was a veteran and had some disabilities himself and got connected to another gamer that also had a disability. And they basically found all the obstacles that we talked about already. And so they said, there are too many people that don't have a chance to play. There's not enough focus on this. And there's so many people that this is part of their lives, and that there's so much more that comes to it than just gaming, right? The social interaction, the engagement, the community, all those things. They said there has to be a place where we can create this and bring these players together.
Are there ways for people to connect with other gamers with disabilities, right?
Yeah. So for sure, AbleGamers, we have our own Discord community, so feel free to come on down and join that. But then there are a lot of some of these communities that exist. You know, I mentioned it earlier, like fighting game communities. When we were at Combo Breaker, one of the leaders of the Las Vegas fighting game community just came up and said, hey, share our information with people. If there are players with disabilities that want to join, they should do that. Logitech G runs an adaptive esports tournament. It's the only esports tournament that's just for people with disabilities.
That's cool. How do you go about like helping influence the game industry as a whole?
Yeah, so we were at GDC, for example, for folks
that's awesome.
The Game Developers Conference, for those who don't know what that is the main conference where a lot of game developers show up. And so we go there, we network, we talk about our training that we run, and you learn all about kind of how disability connects to games. We also have a lot of people that come through the program that are just out of high school programs or in college programs. They want to learn more, and they want to understand how to build accessibility first in their process.
Are there still gaps for certain accessibilities or certain disabilities for being able to play games?
Yeah, there's certainly room to grow in what's happening with controllers. Cost continues to be an issue. We have to find solutions that make some of these things the more accessible price-wise it can become for players, the better. That's what we're here for, though. Players that reach out to us get their equipment for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
We work with players on two different levels. One, we work with partner sites all across the country. So we're here in Los Angeles right now, and there's a rehab center that we partner with in Los Angeles. And then we have 2 adaptive gaming specialists. And what these guys do is they come in and they say, okay, this is what your challenges are. This is what we think the solutions are for you. And we try and open as many tickets and help as many players as we can. You know, obviously, we're a charity and a nonprofit organization. The more money that we raise, the more that we can commit to this. The more money that gets donated, the more equipment we can buy, and the better partnerships we have with folks like Newegg and others to be able to develop and grow these programs, the more we'll be able to help players play.
If somebody wants to get involved, they want to help with donations and stuff like that, is that just something they go on the website? Like,
yep. You can come to ablegamers.org. We've got a donate button that's right there. If you're here at Comic-Con, we're gonna have stands outside that you can come by and donate. We'll have those at any of these other conventions that we're at. But the website's the easiest way.
So we are using blue thermal paste for Intel. We're gonna do the AbleGamers A method of, and this will make sure the IHS is completely there. Ooh, I like, ooh. Okay, you ready to put in a GPU?
I don't know, that feels like, this looks like serious business.
So it's serious business, but it's also not very hard. And then we're just gonna give it a good push. And there it is, dude. You put in a GPU. It's all done. Will it work?
Let's find out.
Yeah! If I want to get in touch with AbleGamers, where do I go?
Yeah, website is the easiest place, ablegamers.org. You can find access to all our socials and everything there, but we're also on all the main social sites. Our tag is always AbleGamers, so you can find us on Facebook, on X, on Instagram. We'd love to see you there.
Well, anyway, guys, I want to say a huge thank you to Intel, to Newegg, and of course, just the entire studio team here that makes these shows so amazing.
Yeah, huge thank you to Robitech, Newegg, and Intel. This has been a lot of fun.
Quick little interlude here. Jordan from AbleGamers doesn't know how many PCs we're actually donating, and as you can see, it's more than just one, and Intel was gracious enough to give us some swag, plus a little bonus thing. So let's bring in Jordan and just surprise him with what we're actually doing for AbleGamers and their awesome activations. Hey Jordan, come in here for a second. So, one cool thing, I don't think you knew how many PCs that Intel and Newegg were gonna donate.
No, I
Look
didn't.
behind you.
Awesome. I guess we're gonna do that
That's
again.
the best answer.
Awesome.
And not only that,
gorgeous.
Intel also came through with a bunch of swag to give away at the event, but Newegg didn't want to stop there. They wanted to make sure that you were set up for any game that you might play. So on top of that, they're also going to be donating 2 Samsung Odyssey G9 Super Ultra-Wide monitors. Now, having gotten a chance to review this bad boy, these things are absolutely amazing. These are going to be able to not only be able to play games like Brawlhalla, but if you have a sim rig at some point in time, or flight sim, or even mini games that support super ultra wide. Plus, it's just going to be a bigger draw to get people to come into the booth and check things out.
Oh man, this is so amazing. This is going to be so great. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, and your organization for doing such incredible work. You know, I know that Intel and Newegg are just so glad to get to support such an incredible cause, and honestly, just make people's lives better with cool tech.
And thank you to Intel, thank you to Newegg, thank you to Robitech. You guys have been awesome, amazing hosts. This is going to be so great.
We're going to throw it back to Ben, who again has been working on his tan this entire time. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Roby, but once again, I don't tan, my freckles just connect. We're here at the AbleGamers display in beautiful sunny San Diego, right outside Comic-Con, and the vibes are immaculate. People are having fun. AbleGamers is getting to share their message, share what they do with the people. And speaking of which, enough about what I have to say. Let's hear what the people have to say about AbleGamers. All right, guys, I'm here with Vinny, Zach, 8-time gold medalist, Candace. Zach, what do you do for AbleGamers?
So I am one of our adaptive gaming specialists at AbleGamers.
I manage marketing and partnerships.
I do anything I can with AbleGamers because this organization makes it possible for people with disabilities to be a part of the mainstream when it comes to gaming.
Yeah, to me, I mean, it's amazing. It's been around for 21 years, and it helps everybody with disabilities have access to video games. It breaks the barriers that have been created over the years. It lets you connect with people all over the world, and it's absolutely amazing.
AbleGamers creates a real opportunity for people with disabilities who have traditionally been erased in society to be able to participate, but participate in an equitable space.
So to have partners like Intel and Newegg is huge for us because this equipment isn't cheap. So when we're able to get donations from our partners like that, it's a huge help for us.
And to have Newegg and Intel and people like you guys come in, donate equipment to us, allow us to show off what we're doing here at somewhere like Comic-Con, it is just, I don't have any words for it. It's awesome.
So Newegg, Voodoo Ranger, these groups are so far ahead of everyone else in that I just think they're in another dimension. And they're doing not the right thing, the only thing.
Thank you, Intel, and thank you, Newegg.
Thank you so much, Intel and Newegg.
Thank you, Intel, and thank you, Newegg. I love it.
Big thank you to Intel for making this all possible. Make sure you go check out AbleGamers on all their social media platforms so you don't miss your chance to make a difference. And we're going to go back to the party. Make sure you check out all the Intel Gamer Day deals at Newegg.com, and we'll see you later.